It is beyond the pale at this point. If you guys haven't seen what I am about to show you, it is mind-blowing. It is shocking. It is I don't even know the word. They're doing the thing that I didn't think they were gonna do, and you can obviously tell what that thing is by the title. I'm just gonna play this trailer for you, and as per usual, you guys know we dive into story on this channel. We're gonna break down the story of this. But I'm also going to give you my opinions on this, because at this point, there's one thing we know, and one thing we know in Call of Duty is every character has unlimited plot armor. No matter how hard they're shot in the face, they can still be... just play it. Just play the clip.
Talk to me. What'd you find?
Hudson came through from the afterlife. We got a list of every agent Pantheon's ever planted inside the CIA. We can finally cut out the cancer, clear our names. But there's a catch. Zev?
The code names are in an old Soviet cipher. I gave it all I've got. But it's out of my league.
We need a specialist. Lucky for us, I kept a little insurance for a rainy day. For a rainy day.
Wait. They kept him alive? Yes, dude, they kept him alive. And that was my first reaction to seeing this, which is over on Ink TV, which is linked down in the description. I always kind of try to put my first reactions up there. And here we are, breaking it down. So yes, indeed, Stitch is alive. They are bringing him back. And again, just the plot armor. Let's go over it just real quickly. This all began back in Modern Warfare 2019 with Alex. He goes into Roman Barkov's facility. They blow up the facility with him inside it. Turns out, lo and behold, he is alive. Again, in Modern Warfare 2, we have Commander Philip Graves, who we believe is inside the tank. We get in a fight with him. We blow up the tank, but guess what? He wasn't in that tank.
Heard you died in a tank in South America.
Well, I wasn't in that tank.
And then they ask us questions like why we don't believe that characters like Soap McTavish, who were killed in Modern Warfare 3, and a character like Alex Mason, who is quite literally the main character of the Black Ops universe, who we say is shot by Frank Woods in the head, why we don't know whether or not they're alive. There is a golden rule with Call of Duty. And if you do not see a character die, it's now not, they're probably not dead. It is, we guarantee they are not dead. But first off, what happened with Stitch?
This one's all yours, brother.
Adler, you took your time.
It's over. Your sick experiment is done.
So just as a little bit of background information, essentially what went on in the Verdansk 1984 story is that Adler got abducted and eventually taken to Verdansk. He was then brainwashed by Stitch, but he fought against that brainwashing and then got deprogrammed by people like Jason Hudson. And you may be wondering why Stitch was doing all of this. Essentially, he was following in the footsteps of some other Russians, specifically a group known as Perseus, who he eventually became the leader of. Now, this part is actually pretty important for what they're telling us here. He followed something called the numbers sequence. This was a sequence brought out by Nikita Dragovich, Kravchenko, on Alex Mason in Black Ops 1. He was trying to put this number sequence in Russell Adler's head and then broadcast it across Verdansk, therefore brainwashing an entire slew of people. That was his plan, but it got foiled by Russell Adler. And then by the very end, this is what ended up happening between Stitch and between Russell Adler.
There's blood on your hands.
Big words from the Scourge of Verdansk.
Fuck you. I wasn't in my right mind. You saw to that.
You Westerners. So squeamish. Look at where we are. This was the Eastern Front. The blood of millions of my people so deep into this soil. Men and women who paid the ultimate price for what had to be done.
You're a fucking monster. I should kill you for what you've done. For what you did to me.
My life no longer matters. Do what you will. Finish what you started on Rebirth Island. My broadcast was complete. I have changed the world, Adler. In ways you can't even imagine.
Nope, not dead. So it's important to note that this happens on August 19th, 1984. Now, I bring this up because if we look at the story of Black Ops 6 and the current seasonal story that we have going on, the last cutscene that we got is taking place in December of 1991. And the last thing that happened is Russell Adler got given a tape from Frank Woods that has information from Jason Hudson on it. And as we find out in the end of Season 3 cutscene, the outro cutscene, this tape and this information that was given to us by Jason Hudson from Beyond the Grave is actual information of all of the Pantheon agents that are inside, working inside the CIA. However, it is coded in Russian. That is why we need to reach out to Stitch, who apparently Russell Adler didn't kill, but rather he captured. Now let's pay attention to some more specifics. First things first, this still takes place on December 15th, 1991, which is the same date as the video we had with Jason Hudson in it from the beginning of Season 3. On the left-hand side of the table there, we can see a weapon. This is the LC-10, which was a weapon in Black Ops Cold War. Further down the table, when we eventually get there, we have in front of Russell Adler another weapon, which is either the FAMAS or the FFAR, which again is from Black Ops Cold War or Black Ops 1 or a lot of Black Ops games. Also, on the whiteboard behind Russell Adler, you may see some writing back there that says Camp Zeta Iceland. I am pretty sure this is the layout for a specific map that we have seen before. There's been one map before that has been in Black Ops games that takes place in Iceland, and it is Payload from Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I think that whiteboard is actually showing off that Payload might be coming in Season 4. So you have the FAMAS, you have the LC-10, and finally, we have Payload. Now, moving back to the story side of things, based off of what we are seeing here, it looks as though Stitch was not shot by Russell Adler, or potentially he was shot but not killed. Later taken into a prison somewhere. We don't know where this is, but I will say it looks a lot like the CIA headquarters. Now, what is weird about this sign that it says here is, first of all, there's a bunch of numbers, but the date is August 14th, 1986. Which is extremely strange because he was captured in 1984 in Verdansk, and the only thing that happens in 1986 are the events of Call of Duty Black Ops 2. So for example, the Angola mission, the very first mission within Black Ops 2, takes place on July 2nd, 1986, and then later on it takes place in September when we are further in Afghanistan. So there is no mission that actually takes place then, but basically it is after Frank Woods gets rescued by Alex Mason and before they go to Afghanistan is when this date is. Other than that, we have no idea why they are putting that date on there. It really makes no sense as of right now. Now, the final thing that we have to discuss is why are the Pantheon files for the CIA in Russian? This puts together an obvious tie between all of the events of previous Black Ops games. So specifically, Black Ops 1, we had a whole bunch of Russians, and then Black Ops Cold War, we had Perseus. This ties together Perseus and Pantheon in a huge way. Specifically, if the codes are used with the number sequence, it ties pretty much everything together. One thing you may not realize is the facility that we go into in Black Ops 6, the one where Case was tested on, where Cradle was tested, that is where Pantheon started out. This facility was designed to decode the numbers program from Call of Duty Black Ops 1. However, the people there didn't do it in Russian. So this is the missing key and the missing thing which is going on with Stitch. Now, how he works with Russell Adler, how that will go moving forward. Clearly, he's going to need to get let out of prison, and the ties between Perseus and Pantheon are questions that will probably be answered moving forward. The other thing to keep in mind is that we are right around the corner from generally when we get a reveal for the next Call of Duty game. The next Call of Duty game is set to be a Black Ops 7 game taking place after Black Ops 2 in the year 2035, at least based off of leaks. And Season 4 is generally about the time where they start to leave breadcrumbs in the game as to what is going to be happening next, what the next game is going to be. And Stitch would be an equal partner to that if they continue the story of Pantheon. But at the same time, if they already know everyone who is inside the CIA for Pantheon, you'd think this story would be coming to an end soon. So there's, yes, lots of questions, and yes, it is shocking that Stitch is still alive, but here we are, once again. The only thing I can tell you is, I guess Stitch wasn't in that Verdansk.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're